Well, the northern BC town of Tumbler Ridge is waking up, if they've been able to sleep at all, with a lot of grief but very few answers this morning as to why a shooter killed 9 people in both the local high school and a residence. One of those people is the pastor of Tumbler Ridge Fellowship Baptist Church, Pastor George Rowe. Thanks for joining us this morning. And first of all, Pastor, our deepest condolences on the loss for you and your community and what you're experiencing. I understand that one of the victims was your neighbor. And we know that RCMP haven't released any of the names of victims yet. So as much as you're comfortable, how are you remembering your neighbor this morning, and what would you like us to know about them?
They're fairly new to the community. They came in working in the mining industry. And I just know them as very loving, caring people. Great community people involved in their local church. And it is a tremendous loss. When I left the community center last night, it had not been confirmed that their child was alive or dead. But when I got home, I got an email saying that the son had passed on.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You know, as much as you can tell us how the family is processing, but I understand you were out in the community yesterday. You were speaking with families just hours after the shooting. How are people processing, and what kind of stories did they share with you?
I think what happened yesterday was normal for this community in that pastors, and I'm not the only one there, pastors were out and about. After the lockdown, of course, I went to the rec center to meet with the families and to offer condolences and help and suggestions. The idea was to be just available. I don't have the answers. None of us have got the answers. But just to come alongside our people and let them know that they're loved and we're with them. And in the uncertainty of life, tragedy comes, and we need to be there for each other to support. I think the big thing that hit me was not knowing, did my child survive this? And that was just a heartbreaking situation. And outside of that, we as pastors, we just go in and we be there. I said in an earlier interview that we need to listen a lot and sometimes talk little, just to be there to hear their heart cry and to look into their face and watch their body language. Can be very disturbing emotionally, to the point that you have to be careful yourself as well.
I'm happy to hear that your loved ones are safe, but, you know, in your role as a pastor, you are there to provide comfort in the community. And, you know, we understand 2,400 people, even if one person dies in a community of that size, everybody is connected in some way. To have 9 people killed, I can't imagine the emotions that are being experienced by the town there this morning. How is your church going to provide some support by families who've been affected in the coming days and hours?
Well, the pastors will be meeting today and tomorrow to deal with the possible services, celebrations of life, memorial services, and so on. We've got help coming in. We've had people calling from literally all over the country. They want to come in and offer counseling services. We're making our churches available. Where possible, we'll be providing some of the tangible things like food and meals, et cetera, and this coming together helps the community deal with it and cope with it for sure.
I imagine that your church has a youth group, and when there is one local high school, there's going to be members of your youth group who either were there when events happened or know somebody who has passed away. What are you hearing from the families of your congregation?
Well, our congregation, again, it's difficult to explain, and I'm sure you can appreciate that. We're so grateful that so many of our kids got out of there alive, but yet so heartbroken that some of them didn't make it. And we're thinking of the 25 who were injured as well. And families are just mourning in their own way. Everybody has their own way of expressing remorse and grief, and we give them their comfort zone. And with our churches are very close here. We have a very close ecumenical program here. The ministerial is very strong, so we're supporting each other. Every church is together on this one for sure.
Pastor George Rowe, I want to thank you for joining us this morning. Again, I'm so sorry for the loss of your neighbor, the son of your neighbor, and our thoughts are with you and the entire community as you try to make sense of what's happened in your town in the next few hours.
Thank you kindly. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.